Have you unintentionally manifested something that you don't want, that you didn't want, and we call that bad? When you manifest the wrong thing, how do we fix that? I'm going to break down in this episode these so-called negative manifestations, and what it reveals about our frequency, how to reclaim our alignment, and to do this without fear or shame or self-blaming. That's not what it's about either. I'm also going to break down the difference between a pattern of manifestation and those things that are spontaneously showing up. When you think you're really trucking along well, when we have those unwanted outcomes, and they don't mean you're broken. It doesn't mean that you're bad at manifesting. It doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. It's not karma. Let's just learn how to turn them into fuel for our own quantum recalibration. So whether you are just starting to work with spiritual laws, or if you are deep into your manifestation work, you've been doing it for a while now, this is something I think that we can all come together on so we can be grounded and get that clarity. And as everything, it just helps us to grow and manifest even more self-compassion. So stay tuned. Hello and welcome to the Charmed Life podcast. This podcast is all about magic, metaphysics, mysticism, and the unconditional love of the universe. And I am your host. My name is Tricia Carr. Welcome to this episode. And if you are coming in on the live broadcast, which I do these now, a lot of them I do live, some I'm doing pre-recorded. You might hear or see my bird. Well, you might hear my bird if you're just listening, but you'll see my bird here, and she really wants to be hanging out and give me kisses right now. Her name is Aliel. So that's my co-host today. Welcome to this episode. We are talking about bad manifestations. I mean, I kind of put those in air quotes. It's like it's true and it's not true because, as with everything in this universe, it's a paradox. So if you are here live on this, on the live stream, go ahead and say hello, and let me know where you're coming in, where you are, and if you have any questions or comments, and if you have anything you want to share about it. And you know what, I feel like I'm going to do some readings at the end of this too. So hang out for that, even if you're listening to the replay on YouTube or on the podcast, because what's so magical about readings that I deliver live to anybody who's on the feed, or if I just do a card spread, that it will apply to you. If you open your heart, it will apply. It'll give you guidance at the time. That's how complete spirit is. It knows who's going to show up and when they're going to show up and how to bring in all of that energy. I wonder if it changes when you actually engage in it later. It's like we're time traveling, and we're time traveling to be together. All right, let's dive into what this whole negative manifestation is all about. And first of all, it does not mean that you're bad at manifesting. It's as with everything, it's an opportunity. Now, I guess before I head in, I want to break down the mechanics between the manifestations that are sort of spontaneous, that are suddenly occurring, and patterns of manifestation that we don't prefer. And we're probably going to have all of those happening. I mean, I don't know if we'll ever get rid of patterns of things if we got rid of a pattern of something negative, then we wouldn't really be living anymore. Like, I'm thinking even in a certain area of my life. If I think back to when my husband and I, we've been together almost 21 years, and the first few years of our relationship, I felt like, all the things you feel, like, is this going to last? I mean, are we going to really get closer? Is this going to, I mean, I felt like we were family, and I felt like we were forever. But until we were, I was, had all of those things that you have at the earlier stages of a relationship. And then then we did get married and all those kinds of things. And I'm so secure and so love my marriage, so love my family. But does that mean that everything is perfect? Does it mean that there aren't more and more opportunities to communicate and to find my own autonomy for myself, as well as deepening my connection and my service to my partnership? Of course not. There's always something more, but it's beautiful. You know what I mean? I do feel really grounded in it, and I love that. I honestly love when I get a little bit scared about something, because I go, oh, good. That means there's something really great to discover here. When I find my own self-honesty and compassion, and then bring it to our partnership, everything else is just basically like that too. So in our lives, the distinctions between patterns of manifestations that we don't prefer and sudden events, if you will. Well, patterns that are showing up over and over again, these are opportunities to release something. It is something that is about our, well, everything is about our inner frequency. It truly is. But that in particular, when there are patterns, it's something that really it's really ready to be released. It's making itself known. It's as if you can think of a certain way that you are, for just to oversimplify it, rejecting yourself. A certain way that you're rejecting yourself is like a friend that wants to get to know you, really wants to meet you, wants you to know them. That's what a repeating pattern is. It is some part of yourself that says, hey, I want to be friends. I want you to accept me. I want you to feel accepted. And that's basically what is going on. It's some healing for you to pull in. And it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean you're broken. It doesn't mean that some people are better than you, because we never know what's going on inside someone else's heart, let alone inside their lives, inside their energy. Comparing ourselves to anyone, just really all it does is keep us from our own selves. So everybody is having human experiences, and what we're describing here are human experiences, patterns of things that you would like to shift. Now, if you are aware of it, and that means anything, honestly, but to keep it in the context of what we're talking about right now, if you're aware of a pattern, then it's ready to be healed, because anything that you are aware of is in your energy field. And so that's something in a lesson that we had in the Quantum Resonance Intuitive Development, which I should actually pop a link for that, because, oh my gosh, it's so amazing. I'm just going to mention it casually while I keep going with this chat, though. So our lesson was about everything, and it was in the context of energy healing, which is of course what we're talking about, energy healing. And what we were learning is that everything is in your field. Anything that you are aware of, and actually things that you're not aware of too, and meaning like they're unconscious to you, they're also in your field. So just to contextualize that more, if you are connecting with Archangel Michael is in your field. Archangel Michael is an aspect of your energy when you are aware of this energy, when you are connecting with this energy. Anyone that in physical, anyone that you are connecting with, they are in your energy field. Right now, we're listening, I'm in your energy field, you're in mine. I'm more in yours than I'm more in yours than you are in mine. Did I say that right? Yeah, I think so. Just simply because you are more fully aware of me, unless you start talking on the chat if you're here live, and then you'll be in my energy field too. However, because of my intention for anyone and everyone in all time and space to be on this broadcast and listen to it, all of those, either whenever you're listening to this, you are in my energy field, but you're more in the unconscious or subconscious realm until you say hello on the chat feed. So anyway, everything is in your field, and anything that you are aware of is most certainly in your field. And anything that's in your field is ready to be healed. So what I'm saying about this is, if you're recognizing a pattern of manifestation that you don't prefer, then that means it's in your field and it's ready to be healed. And what is unconscious to you are the reason you repeat it is because there are aspects, roots of it that are unconscious to you. So there's that piece. Now, the other piece of spontaneous manifestations that happen, the bad things that happen. And we tend to, when we have a little bit of spiritual education, sometimes we can get ourselves into anxiety over something like this. What does it mean? What is this a sign of? And I actually promoted this as one thing that I put in the description is, it's a sign. It is a sign. A negative manifestation, a sudden one or a pattern, is a sign. Signs always follow your frequency. Signs always follow your frequency. That means that signs aren't leading you. Signs are following you, following who you are. Everything in your reality is your energy pushed out. So, as we already discussed, a pattern is following you. It is a sign that is following you. It is a sign that there is something to be healed in your energy field. A sudden manifestation that's negative that occurs is also a sign, and one of the things that it can be a sign of is you are strong enough. That's one thing that it can be. You are strong enough to be human, to be grounded, to be present. It can also be a sign that to invite you into grounding more and to deepen your compassion for yourself and others. Which takes me to my story, a story that it actually inspired this episode that happened 2 days ago as I broadcast this. I'm gonna have to sigh a little bit because I'm still moving through it. And so the thing that happened, well, actually, I want to say that I had a really big burst of growth spiritually, personally, like the 2-3 weeks leading up to what was Tuesday when this occurred. And that's fantastic. And feeling amazing things, just like I'm really like feeling, everything is my frequency. Everything is, is manifesting as I'm calibrating my own energy, and everything is developing. And actually, I should tell you the whole day on Tuesday because it was a very interesting day. So I have been dealing with some physical issues, some physical symptoms, and specifically it was like digestive issues that were kind of lingering for a few weeks. And I was really, I found a way to be very positive that it is going to be healed by speaking to my soul, and also just by holding the frequency of it. So I had a doctor's appointment on Tuesday or earlier in the day. And I have like, I don't want to throw any business under the bus, but I have like a really kind of like super bogged down insurance, you know what I mean? Like all the Western stuff that we're super like not excited about, kind of like difficult to deal with. And but I made the appointment and I was really excited because I actually scheduled it with a physician's assistant, because every time I've had a physician's assistant or a registered or a nurse practitioner for a doctor's visit, I've gotten the best care. And that's, again, that's just my experience. That's not to say that any other kind of doctor or general practitioner or anything are not giving great care. It's just been that's been my pattern. So I was like, hey, this is a positive pattern. I'm going to welcome in. I scheduled this, and it was amazing because a lot of times when I go to, just very allopathic, just very Western medicine, I'm sure you've had this experience. It's like, they're just like, well, there's nothing really too wrong with you, so just maybe take it easy, you know what I mean? Or they go, well, we can check if it's this really extreme thing. And intuitively you're like, well, I know it's not that, but of course we can do that check and nothing comes of it. Or we do the test and of course it's not that. And eventually it does go away. So I have that in the back of my mind, except that I have my physician's assistant's pattern that I really love. So I showed up for the appointment, and this PA, this medical doctor, like right away, we both started talking about spiritual stuff. Right away, it was a woman, she started telling me, look, you're having these issues. You should take this tea by this holistic practitioner. You should take this tea for this tea, these herbs, this. And I was like, am I really at the same facility? And we really connected so much. We exchanged numbers. And so that was amazing. She was like, just give you an example of the synchronicity, the signs following the frequency that we were creating of connection. Speaking of connection, she was like, yeah, you want to get this digestive enzyme. Like, she was doing other things on the medical front too. She's like, this digestive enzyme, I got this one at, and I said, I go to Sprouts. She said, Sprouts, that's what I was trying to pull up, Sprouts. And I was like, yeah, Sprouts. And then my phone, the alerts were actually on audibly, and it went bling. And it was actually a text from Sprouts, because I'm on like their, hey, text alerts for deals. And I was like, oh my gosh, I just got a text from Sprouts that like we went Sprouts, Sprouts, and then my phone said Sprouts. And she goes, "Oh my gosh, see, Source. It's all Source knows what's going on right here." It was really beautiful. So that was my beautiful part of Tuesday, where I actually was going into, I kind of joked with my husband, I was going to hell and I found an angel. I'm being extreme there. Going to the doctor isn't hell, but going to like a really harsh allopathic, kind of system. Not my favorite. So that was the beginning. That was the earlier part of Tuesday. I had a client before that, and that was wonderful. And then after the appointment, I decided to walk to my fitness club for the 5 o'clock Pilates class, and it's only about a mile from my house. So walking to this is where the negative manifestation happens. Remember, I've been having all this great synchronicity, this growth, this wonderful insight and shift and development, all these things. I just feel like there's a fluorescence happening. And I was walking along a busy road, but it was a busy road, but there were no businesses it was like this stretch of is on Barham in Los Angeles, in case anyone's familiar. My bird, she just landed on a funny thing that made almost like a gong sound. I don't know if it was heard, so that's what that noise was. Anyway, I was walking along here, and about 50 feet ahead of where I was walking, I did see this man standing in a part of the sidewalk that actually got really narrow, and it was going under some, this patch of trees. Well, I was already going to walk off the sidewalk and go around that just because it was a tight squeeze, and I don't walk that closely to people in general. And so, and he had a suitcase with him, like a rolly suitcase. There was no bus stop anywhere around, so it was unusual to see someone standing there with a suitcase. So then I got probably, it's hard to say, maybe 10 feet away, and I was my feet were angling to step off the sidewalk to go around, like stepping into the street a bit. And he raised his hands to get my attention. I looked up. Apparently I do still have some PTSD. And he lunged at me like he was going to try to get me. But it wasn't... he wasn't close enough or fast enough to be able to get me. And so I screamed. And when I started my walk to the gym, it had been raining a little bit. So I had an umbrella with me closed. And I lifted my umbrella as if it was a weapon. And then he made a gesture. He like as if, it's okay. Calm down kind of thing. But like immediately, and then he lunged at me again. And so then I screamed. I was screamed the first time too. I screamed and I jumped out into the middle of the street where people were going like 50 miles an hour. I don't remember if I checked or if I even was aware of whether there was traffic or not. Fortunately there wasn't. There was no one in those lanes at the time. And so I ran out into the street and I flagged down a car, stood in front of a car, and I'm going to speed past the rest of it. There were some other things that were kind of disappointing because some people were reluctant to help me. But I'm going to move past that and just say I wasn't touched, but it was scary. Someone attempting to attack you is very scary. And I got away. I got into someone's car who finally was able, consented to help me, and just went to a place where there was a business. Seriously, like 1 minute away. It was just... So that was a negative manifestation, right? And because I want to stay committed to the fact that I do create my reality, I am accepting this as something that I manifested. Now, that's where the spiritual growth can support you, because we sometimes have a tendency to go, what have I done wrong? And that's not what it's about. I manifest my reality, and also I manifest my reality because I am capable of holding a state unconditionally. So my state is not dependent on a certain outcome. Actually, my state is an unconditionally positive state. Now, am I saying it's always positive and high vibe? No, I'm not. But that is the opportunity. That is one of the things that humans can do. And so I chose to stay in my sovereignty, that I created this, and I created it because of something positive that I want to experience. One of the first things that I noticed about it was, wow, people hurt. People are scared, people are hurt, people are behaving in ways that hurt one another. And so the first thing I took from that was people need more love. And I'm going to give more love. I was grateful for the awareness of a reminder. I mean, there's reminders all around us, all right? I was grateful for the reminder that right in my face of what people, what we experience, and so that I could choose to not shut my heart down, but to open my heart more. There was a bit, where you're moving through something, like I got a little angry too, where I said, fuck no, I'm not going to shut my heart down. Like kind of, I actually said that too. I wrote it out in a text and sent it to my student community that way, because I did want to diffuse some of that anger about it too. So I chose not to close my heart down. I'm choosing to open my heart even more, even though negative manifestations occur. So there, already, that's something that is a positive outcome from this. I said, I'm going to insist on opening my heart even more, not just keeping it open, but opening it even more. And I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful for that. The other thing that it helped me to recognize and as a growth opportunity is that when you have an experience of any kind, it can magnetize to it, especially if you give it permission, you do it intentionally and consciously, it can magnetize to it other aspects that are within you, things that are in your shadow, and transmute it in the powerful energy of healing as you're doing your healing and the alchemy of that healing. Then it can collect a lot of other things and throw it into that alchemical fire. For example, one of the things that is going to happen to all of us is death of those whom we love. And I experienced a death in the fall. It was my beloved kitty. And in that grieving process, which I'm still in, it's like grief will pull up grief about other things that are old, ancient, maybe even ancestral. And as it pulls it up, you can allow it to be thrown into that alchemical fire of the healing. And so that was the second thing. In addition, first, it's like, I'm going to keep my heart open. Second, I'm going to allow this healing process to pull up things that need to be healed. I'm going to also then, maybe this is a third thing, allow myself to be a person who can experience the stuff that humans experience and let that deepen my compassion for myself and others. Experience the things that humans experience and let that be a portal to more growth, more development, more connection, more awareness of unity. So this is how you can fix it fast. Really, honestly, that was 2 days ago. Am I 100%? No, like I said, I still have some PTSD flashes, but and also worse things than that can happen. I recognize I didn't even have hands laying on me. That's I didn't get touched or anything. But it was aggression, and it was a threat. I'm just continuing to insist with my sovereignty, with my I am, with my creator frequency that was given to me by existence, by God, by the universe. God made us in his image, as the Torah says, as the Bible says. And what actually happened is Prime Creator made another creator in the same exact signature. And what I mean by signature, it's like the frequency signature. You may have heard me say this before if you've listened for a while or if you're a student. Crystals are actually, here I've got one, if you're on the video, I've got a little cluster here. It's a little inside of a geode, and it's got these little points. So this is a small little piece of amethyst cluster inside a geode, and you could have a crystal that is this size, which is, like an inch by a half inch, or you could have a crystal that's, 4 feet in all directions, 4 feet square. Or you could take a speck of sand off of either one of those, and it will have the same signature. So a speck of sand sized crystal off of off of a crystal that's the size of a room, has the same signature, can do the same thing, if you will. This is our computers and our devices. They have quartz crystal in them because there isn't anything else that they can make that is more capable of holding and transducing and transmitting information. You're that as well. As a split off of the prime creator, you are just as powerful as the original. That's the promise of existence. Is it easy? No. That's why we came to do it. So this is how, when negative manifestations occur, again, just to recap, if it's a negative manifestation that is a pattern, then that means it's ready to be healed. So we first start to look at it as a blessing, as an opportunity, and the awareness of it is your portal. If it's a negative manifestation that is sudden, that is the life stuff, or, so I say sudden like the thing that happened to me where someone actually tried to attack me, or the life stuff of, things such as death or loss or different kinds of things that are upheavals of life. Yeah, what is great is to recognize, you have a moment of being a victim, and yes, this person intended on this plane to make me a victim. But in fact, if we can shift out of victimhood and into our freedom as quickly as possible and find out how this is actually something that is benefiting us, that's why soul allowed it to occur. Then we become impervious to it, to a certain kind of energy of that threat, in my case, threat. So that's how you, and if you can, also, this isn't about bypassing. This isn't about pushing things away. I cried a lot the last 36 hours. Maybe it's almost been 48. I haven't cried today yet. So, but yesterday and after getting home, and I couldn't sleep that night very well, I did a lot of crying because, there was hormones that are dusted up as I'm fleeing for my life, and fear. And again, there were other parts of the story that were really disappointing, and I wanted to commute those. I wanted to transmute those. And so that means feeling them deeply. And there's a line that only you can know, that if you trust your heart, there's a line between indulging or processing and processing or avoiding and escaping. And that's a spectrum that you need to be present to and let your heart guide. And so there were waves of different kinds of things that I processed a lot yesterday. There'll probably be some more. So that in that processing, I'm still also holding this awareness that I'm an unconditional creator. And I am unconditionally sovereign in my energy. I am here to manifest my reality in my highest benefit and the highest benefit for all who are involved. So then I chose also, okay, I manifested this because this would-be assailant needed to see the look in my eyes. It's up to him what he does with that. But that was helpful to him. That's what I'm anchoring in. That's what I'm insisting on. That's what helps me to shift out of victimhood while also processing the emotions that are associated with being a victim. It's a paradox. It's a beautiful, complex journey. That's what being a human is all about. I was doing a lot of sighing all throughout this too. So when you manifest the wrong thing, how you fix it is with compassion and sovereignty, recognizing that it's here for you, not because you're broken, not because you did things wrong, not because it's a sign of you being wrong or bad. In fact, especially actually always, let's say this, in fact, it's not a sign of you being bad, broken, wrong, or weak. It's a sign of you being strong. All right. That's that piece. And I'm going to check out here and see if anybody has anything that they would like to chat about. So thanks for listening and holding space. I hope that benefited you. Oh, I want to see what what Donna says. Good point about the crystal. Even being a small speck are just as powerful as the huge piece. Exactly. Yes. And that's what we are. That's what we are, Donna. Thanks. Hi. Nice to see you. Anyone else here want to chat? I see I can see the count across all the platforms. We've got quite a few people here on this live stream. So maybe some of you are listening passively. But if anybody is listening to where you can actually want to drop in a comment or a question, I would love to hear from you. In the meantime, I'm going to actually do a reading. If anybody's listening presently or again in time travel as you listen to to how, gosh, these cards are calling me today, my unicorn cards. I already used them once today in the Modern Mystic meditation session. So open your heart and set an intention for what you'll receive here, because Spirit knows how to reach you even however it is that you are participating here. It is now. No matter how your now is happening, it's still a shared now between us all. As I'm shuffling my cards, I want to share a couple of things with you. And first of all, I want to share with you, well, actually, I'm wearing a piece of apparel from mine and my husband's Apparel line. It is the Ascended Life Store, ascendedlifestore.com. And the sweatshirt that I'm wearing is so beautiful, so soft, really, really fashion conscious, lovely. And it says Certified Lunatic, and it has a lunar phase graphic on it. It's one of those, if you know, you know, but if you're walking around with it, it could spark up a conversation, because the word lunatic actually comes from the concept that the full moon makes you nutty. And so kind of taking back that word to be like, yeah, I'm certified. I actually work with the phases of the moon. So Tracy has the hoodie. Hi, Tracy. Tracy actually got one. He has one of these in gray. I love it. Donna, what does it say? Nice to see you too. Oh, thank you for this podcast. Thank you, Donna. So ascendedlifestore.com, we have a lot of beautiful new designs there. We have zodiac hoodies. They're so beautiful in every sign and really great colors. They have the name, the like Virgo or Pisces or whatever right over the breast, and on the back has a beautiful graphic of the constellation associated with your zodiac sign, your sun sign, or I guess you could use your lunar sign if you wanted to. If you wanted to get a lunar sign sweatshirt, the constellation, the flower associated with that zodiac, and also the sacred glyph, the symbol that goes with it. They're so beautiful. So what happens here is my husband is designing all of these. He designs the visual of it. I channel the message and the energy of it. So when I mean the energy is I send energy into all of our apparel, all of our products. Every day, I bless it. I visualize them walking out on the earth, leading your heart for that day, setting your frequency, and how we're all connecting and connected through that. I'm so excited about it. We also have some fun ones that are kind of like a little sarcastic, but not mean sarcastic. Like one of my favorites is manifesting, also slightly panicking. Just being a little grounded, being a little real about it. We have some really cool ones that, I'm so excited for these to, I have mine coming for me. There are some t-shirts. They're with this Western wear kind of, because I'm from Texas. And so it's kind of like a marriage of a lot of things that are about me. But I have one called, it has a beautiful graphic on it. And it's kind of that old fashioned Western quality of art. And it says, Namaste, y'all. So. What else we have? On Path Empath. So such a beautiful design. That one has I have it over there. Maybe I'll show it at the end as I'm rolling the credits. I love that On Path Empath though. That one came through as as a channeled something. I was like, I can't believe I've actually never said that before. I'm sure someone else is saying On Path Empath, but I haven't said it before. And I haven't seen someone else saying that. So anyway, check it out. We're really excited, really proud of it. And we really want to connect with you. They are super high quality fashion focused kinds of casual wear, but they aren't cheap. They're not cheap quality. We could have picked cheap quality so we could have sold more and made more money. We just didn't want to do that. We wanted to make them so that they were worthy to actually hold your vibe. And the other thing I want to share with you is two things actually. They're kind of involved with one another. So on June what is the day? Oh, June 30th. That's a Monday. We have a Modern Mystic meeting and Modern Mystic Live. So that's the first piece of this is Modern Mystic, which is my subscription platform, which is super, super low cost and super, super high value. And the deal with Modern Mystic is we meet twice per month. You get a live workshop, super cool, esoteric, deep dive, fun community, and also a live group meditation, which we had earlier today, our June one. You get that twice per month. And also there is a catalog of classes and meditations for you. And it's so inexpensive. It's $22 a month for a live workshop and a live meditation and community and a catalog, a library that you can just dive into at any time and continuing to build. It's a beautiful community. I've actually been doing it since 2018 in this low cost, high value because I love it. And because I wanted to make something affordable and high value for people to be able to, continue to have a way to engage with a community and to continue to develop spiritually and learn new things. And it's so important. So it's really, really a high value. And so the reason, with Modern Mystic, because if you sign up now, because we just switched our platform, so there's kind of like a re-signing up thing going on. If you sign up now in June, I think through June, then you get half off your first month. You can unsubscribe at any time, but you could get in there. And I mean, we hope that you'll just stick around with us and have the best time ever with us, because that's what we're doing. So that is in the chat. But the thing I wanted to tell you about our June meeting is that I'm going to be giving hot seat Akashic record readings. It's going to be so amazing. Now, I don't know how many people will be there. I don't know how fast we'll get through them. If you don't get an Akashic record reading, or if you don't want to get an Akashic record reading, you will deeply, deeply benefit by the transmissions coming through. I don't know. Have you guys ever watched, of course, I'm sure you have. You watch Abraham Hicks or you watch Bashar workshops, right? And someone else is asking the question, and that's like you receive so much. That's the kind of deal that we're talking about here. But you will get a really cool. So there's that link right there. It's in the description, and it's also in the live chat right now. So I highly recommend that. Now the other thing is, if that I do have an Akashic Record Readers course that I'm also people from that course will be invited to come to. That is so amazing. The Akashic Records course. You can learn to read the records for yourself or for others. I have my own proprietary technique and an invocation that I channeled that I tell you, it opens those records and there are powerful shifts. It's like the work. That's what I'll say. It's amazing. So I invite you to join both Modern Mystic and also take the Akashic Records course, so that you can tap into the records for yourself and others. Now, here are our cards. Ready? Away we go. Innocence is our first card. Open your heart if you'd like to receive this message. We have innocence. Take time to play, nurture your inner child, live with a childlike sense of wonder. I'm laughing because in our Modern Mystic meditation earlier, I drew cards. I've done this only like 3 times. I drew a card to inspire what the meditation was going to be. And it wasn't this card, but it was another card that had a fairy pony on it. It was a card called Delight. And it was all, and in the meditation, I was like, we were like, let your inner child come up and play. So it was funny because now it's like following us. Let your inner child come up and play. Innocence. Take time to play, nurture your inner child, live with a childlike sense of wonder. So Tracy was at the live meditation earlier. Got a synchronicity going on here, don't we, Tracy? Tracy's here live on the feed. All right, our next card is Goddess. Honor your divine feminine energy. See your inner beauty. Love every part of you. Oh, wow. That's so attuning for me right now. So healing and attuning for me right now. The divine feminine is a frequency that is no respecter of gender. We all have some divine feminine and some divine masculine. We're a balance of that. And there are sometimes people who are a certain gender outwardly, you might say, who are carrying a lot of the divine feminine for those in their community, in their home, or in their family, or in their partnership. And it doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to do with how we talk about things that are woman, man, feminine, masculine on the physical, in the plane in any way. It is everybody has an inner goddess, and everybody has an inner titan. Everybody has an inner king. God is kind of a weird, I have an inner God, but yeah, we do. I am energy. But the goddess with that divine feminine energy, that is the well of our manifestation, where we create with our masculine, divine masculine, which is more like that conscious energy, and then we hand it over to the divine feminine, that subconscious. Then the subconscious impresses it out onto the field, onto the plane. The subconscious, the goddess, the inner goddess, the divine feminine, actually births it out into reality. So it is really important for us to, as this says, honor your divine feminine energy if we want to manifest in our highest benefit. And we are manifesting for our highest benefit. All right, our final card, ooh, this is beautiful, is Sanctuary. Take time out from the world, spend more time alone, meditate, or go on a retreat. I would love to do that. I mean, I can meditate. That's easy. I'd love to go on a retreat. I love this card. I'll describe it for those who are not watching the video. There's so much dreamy blue color here, the blue array. There's indigo, but there's also, actually, it looks a lot like my bird's under her wings. Indigo, as well as the sky blue, the robin's egg blue, all of that beautiful, deep, supportive, and calming frequency to bring us into our sanctuary. All right. Well, that's what I have for you for this episode. I hope that it served you. And do check out the links in the description, however it is that you're receiving this. You might find something new there, like that you haven't discovered before, such as a free meditation. And then if you want to grab that, it'll sign you up for my mailing list, which is the best way to stay on top of, well, when I do live podcasts, as well as when there are any specials or anything new. That's the best way to stay on top of that. And I see, thank you, Tracy. Tracy says thank you, so I'm saying thank you back. And then yes, like there might be a higher self meditation. There might be the animal intuitive mini course. And remember the invitations that I made for you that are specifically for now, the Akashic Records Readers course, which is available for you right now. If you start to take that course streaming right now, then you can show up to the live meeting in a couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks, and be able to connect with others who are reading the records and receiving readings from the records. Be really powerful. And of course, Modern Mystic. And actually, we do have a live meeting coming up for animal communication and healing. It'll be next month. Or is it this month? I can't remember. Anyway, coming up soon. So those are my invitations. I appreciate you so much for being here. Thanks for shining your light on our beautiful world. I love you, whoever you are.